factoring this, what do I have to multiply to? No, multiply to 1 times negative 9 is negative 9. I have to add to 0. So if I'm looking for things that have to add to 0, those things have to be opposites. They have to be opposites. So opposites are 5 and negative 5. Okay. So that means it's going to be negative 3 and 3. So if you're adding the 0, it's going to be these two numbers. So when I split it, I get x squared. Now I don't have a middle term, so I have to fill in minus 3x plus 3x minus 9. Yeah, negative 3 and positive 3.
No, wait.
I can take an x out. I get x minus 3. I can take a 3 out. I get x minus 3. So I get x plus 3 times x minus 3. Look at the numbers we had there and look at our answer. Okay, do you see a correlation there? So what do you think would be the factors of x squared minus 16? Look at what we started with. Look at what we ended with. X squared minus 9 was to x plus 3x minus 3. So this one's going to be x plus 4 and x minus 4. Because if you add 4 and negative 4, you get 0. Okay, that's gone. What about x squared minus 25? So what are the factors? X minus 5, x plus 5. You can put the minus first, you can put the plus first. It doesn't matter as long as they're both there.
The plus or minus sign?
No, because it has to be two factors. Okay, we're not solving it here. We're just factoring it. So, but your answers would be a positive, negative 5. X squared minus 100. 10. Notice you're taking square roots. That's what you're doing here. It's just taking the square root of this. So x plus 10, x minus 10. X squared minus 1.
1.
What's the square root of 1? 1. X plus 1, x minus 1.
2.
Okay. How about this? 4x squared minus 25. What if I put a number in front there? So what's the square root of 4x squared? What's the square root of 4? 2. Square root of x squared is x. You notice this is just the square root of x squared. So if I have a number in front here, I square root it. It's going to be 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5. Okay. So this rule, this is a shortcut. This is one of the main shortcuts I will teach you this year. This is called a difference of squares. Difference means we're doing what operation in math? Subtracting. And we're subtracting things that have been squared. They squared x, they squared 4. They squared x, they squared 5. They squared x, they squared 10. So the rule is if you have something of the form something squared minus something else squared, it factors into the square roots of each being added and subtracted. Oops. There we go. That should be a minus. So there's your difference of squares rule. So if I say that's a difference of squares, this is how you need to factor it. You just take the square root of both, make your two parentheses a plus and a minus. Okay, so you will have several of them that show up in there, such as number 23 and 24. You should have two steps in your work. You have a greatest common factor, then you have that difference of squares.
22, it has four of these. You just do the two parentheses
Yep.
thing.
It's ready to group.
So, get solved.
Correct. Just be it. Because all you're doing is factor. I'm going to just toss this. Be right there, Dawson.
What if it doesn't have like the number in front of x